Hi there, welcome back to Darcy. This video is a super detailed BJD ball jointing doll buying guide. Have you ever wondered why BJD doll seems so hard to find? It almost feels like it is some secret insider knowledge, which makes it difficult to make the right choice. I see beautiful, elegant, and stunning BJDs all over social medias like this. But when I go to buy one, why do I end up with search results like this? Many of them aren't actually BJDs. After hours of searching, I finally find a seller, and the photos on their website look like this. But why when I get my doll, the default option is a blank nude doll? If you've had the similar experiences, if you are going to buy your first BJD dolls or expanding your doll connections, this video might be exactly what you need. I'm going to break down all the ways to buy a BJD dolls and the challenge you will face along the way. Let's dive right in. When we think about shopping, the first thing that comes to mind is usually the popular online platforms like Amazon, eBay, Temu, and AliExpress. But do not buy BJDs from all these platforms. Even though they list BJD dolls, it's a huge red flag. Here is why. BJD is a niche hobby, and most companies are small, so they aren't sold through these regular retailers. This is one of the key factors that makes buying BJDs tricky. What you will find on these platforms are usually recast counterfeit dolls or items that aren't BJDs, even if they labeled as such. But what is a recast, and why shouldn't we buy a recast doll? Recasts are illegal copies made without the original artist's consent. They have poor quality, often feature stolen images. They are simply a waste of money. Purchasing counterfeit dolls harms the artists who put countless hours into creating original designs. Most people in BJD community strongly oppose recast, so avoid them. Since we shouldn't buy from the regular online retailers, what about the physical stores? Unfortunately, the physical options are very limited, and this is the second reason why BJDs are hard to find. However, physical stores are worth considering because you can see the dolls in person, which is a huge advantage. For example, 99 in South Korea and Vogue in Japan. Additionally, doll conventions can hold in more places, such as Doll North in Toronto, Texas BJD.com, Resin Rose in Portland. These places often carry a range of dolls from different sizes and series. You can actually see the dolls up close and understand their proportions before making your purchase. If you've never touched a BJD before, this experience can be invaluable. Plus, if you are lucky, you might even find a doll that's ready to take home the same day. If you are lucky enough to live in a city with a BJD community, try searching social medias for keywords like your city plus BJD stores or conventions. You might be surprised at what you find. However, not every city has the BJD stores, and the doll conventions doesn't happen every day. Don't be discouraged because most people buy from the next options, official websites. This sounds simple, but there is a few things to be aware before making a purchase. Since BJD refers to a category of dolls, not a specific brand, all the sellers can use the term, which makes it harder to distinguish legitimate brands from the recast ones. For example, searching for BJD might lead you to a site like bjdshop.com, which seems to be trustworthy, but they are known for selling recast dolls. If you buy from such sites, you will unknowingly receive an expensive recast doll. Yikes! What should we do? To avoid this, only stick to the official online sites. BJDconnected.com and BJD Fandom Wiki maintains a list of verified legitimate sellers that I will include in the description. These are trusted sources where you can safely browse and select dolls you like. If you find it too cumbersome to open each brand site one by one, you might want to consider purchasing from dealers. There's a dealer list categorized by regions on BJD forum's Den of Angels. These dealers are official third-party companies that carry multiple BJD brands in one place. This is more convenient, especially when you don't have a specific brand in mind and looking for a variety of dolls and accessories. Which options do you prefer, from the official website or the dealers? Please let me know in the comment below. For beginners, both of them are the safest and most reliable route. You can purchase not only dolls but also accessories and full outfits there. The selection is much broader than what you will find in physical stores, and sometimes there are events for extra online discounts or exclusive options. However, it's important to understand the includes before purchasing. Unlike Barbie dolls or other common dolls that come as complete sets, BJD dolls are normally sold as blank and nude. This is the fourth reason why buying BJD can be challenging. This means that the head, body, face-up, eyes, hair, clothes, and shoes are usually sold separately. Because many doll collectors prefer customize their doll with a unique or cost-effective face-up and accessories. Luckily, some BJD makers offers full set options, especially companies like Vogue, which offers exclusive collaborations and limited editions full sets. Additionally, the next challenge when buying BJD is the waiting time is very common. Since most companies are small and don't keep a lot of stock, after you pay, you will need to wait for the dolls to be made, shipped, and delivered. Once a BJD is in production, it is typically can't be refunded. The payment is easy, but the waiting time can be agonizing. Unless clearly stated it was in stock, make sure you are ready to waiting for months before you get your doll. Are these all the ways to buy BJD dolls? Of course not. But the next options are more suitable for experienced collectors who are more familiar with BJD dolls and the doll customization process. First, let's talk about the indie artists. They have their own unique artistic style, which is why their dolls are so sought after. Like some small-size BJD brands, these artists usually use other companies' production lines to create their dolls, so they can focus on their design, but as a result, their dolls tend to have a limited stock and are available only for a limited time. You will need to follow their social media to stay up to date on pre-order openings. Additionally, these artists typically only sell blank, unpainted heads, so you will also need to find a face-up artist and buy the body separately. So this route is better for those already familiar with the customization process. Second, some doll customizers sell one-of-a-kind dolls on their websites, and some collectors sell second-hand dolls online. Here you might find cheaper options, unique themed dolls, or even limited edition dolls, but these come with risks. You will need to verify the doll legitimacies by checking if the brands and office names are clearly stated, and ensure the packaging, certificates, and conditions match the seller's description. This is another challenging when buying a BJD doll. Okay, let's sum it up. If you are a beginner starting with the physical stores, even though they are rare, official brands' websites and dealers, which are more common and recommended. For more experienced collectors, indie artists and second-hand platforms can be considered, but always be cautious. Thanks for watching. If you found this video is helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Get any questions or thoughts, feel free to leave in the comment below. See you next time!